Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Michael? How you doing?
Hey, my brother Gabe, what's up, everybody? Gods, I'm excited to hang out with everybody tonight.
I know, and this is like we're not even joking. Like this is the first time that I've talked to Michael all week.
Yeah,
Actually, probably since last weekend.
yeah. I texted you yesterday saying, "Man, I can't wait to hang out tomorrow,"
Yeah,
and then I said it to you again today, and yeah.
yeah, man. So it's definitely this is genuinely us like excited to hang out with each other. So,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
but yeah,
Scott
and
said he had no sound on the intro. That's weird.
the what?
Scott said no sound on the intro.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Um, did anyone else hear that? I heard it on my end, but
I
I'm
heard
also
it too.
so. But yeah, what's up, guys? What's up, Steven? How you doing?
Thanks for hopping on, guys, for sure. Hey, Steven.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And Jeff, what's up? How you doing, Jeff? Matt, how you doing? Roger, what's up, Roger? How you doing?
Hey, Raj.
Johnny, what up? How you doing?
What's up, Johnny?
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
You guys are awesome. And
yeah.
by the way, did you see their indie display?
Yes.
Oh man, yeah, they got their new Indiana Jones Kennard. Is it Kennard?
Oh no, I haven't. I
No,
have
the
not.
vintage. The vintage. We'll look for them. We'll get
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
pictures up. Looks beautiful. Nilda, what's up, Nilda? How you doing?
No, Bill.
Scotty, what's up, Scott? How you doing, man? Armando, what's up? Jens, howdy, Jens. No, how you saying hello, Jens? You're in Texas now. You
Yeah,
guys
that's funny.
start using the lingo.
Yeah, he's getting it now. He wears a big. It's. I'm not. I mean, the guy wears a cowboy hat now. It's crazy.
No,
I'm
Jens,
just
you're
kidding.
in a big buckle, big belt
Yeah,
buckle.
but they were talking about getting his father-in-law a cowboy hat. He wants one.
Oh,
I think
really?
that's cool, dude. He's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
What's up, Joseph? How you doing, Joseph? Chris, what's up? Oh, wow, that's weird. I mean, but you could hear their sound now, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, that is weird because I heard it over here.
Yeah. Izzy, what's up? Izzy, how you doing?
Hey, Ez, we're going to talk about you tonight.
Solo pet. What's up? Yeah, man. So what's been going on, Michael? How you doing?
Jeez. So it's been. We had a great interview last week. With Jim Swearingen from Killer.
You know what? I just watched the Toys That Made Us last night.
Yeah.
I was just there and I was like, let me watch it. Watching him on there, I was like, man, that's so cool that we had him on.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an honor. He's pretty
Yeah.
particular. So, but it was
Yeah.
good. And hearing those cool stories about like the Death Star and all that stuff I didn't know about. A lot of people probably didn't know about.
No.
It's now out there, and it was just fun. But yeah, so before that, a lot of people know I took a trip to Orlando, Florida, to go visit Porchamax Studios and my friend Manny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. How was that? How was the drive?
well, the drive back, because I flew in and I rented a big ass van, to haul back some goodies. And but it was really good, and it's crazy because the day I almost flew the day after that, and that's when all the system computers went down at the airports and everyone was stalled. From all around the United States, all the planes were grounded and stuff.
Yeah.
That would have been a nightmare, but luckily I didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, it was really, really cool. After talking, a lot of times, we talk to these guys over the phone. We don't, ever get to see them, but having a chance to meet Manny, who I've become really close with, and to meet his family and his studio. I mean, a big, congrats to him. He's, back on his feet. He's got a really cool studio that he's, working away on.
Yeah.
He's back at it, which it made me feel really good to see. So of course we went and had a nice steak dinner, which was
All
very nice. So,
right. Let me bring up some of those.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was really cool seeing that his place all up, and because he's gone through a lot,
Yeah.
last year and a half, and that's his new lovely wife right there doing all the secretarial stuff. She's awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, look at that little K2. I was like, we have room in the van for that bad boy.
Little K2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sideshow one, right?
It is. It
Wow.
is.
Yeah. And then he got all his helmets and stuff. Because that's, I mean, honestly, that's how I knew about Manny, right? Manny,
Most people do. Actually, that's how I also was introduced to him, which, the majority of my Vader is
yeah,
Portuguese Studios. Yeah.
yeah, Manny's known throughout the community for making some awesome Vader stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's really cool seeing all the molds and, seeing everything, there. So,
Yeah,
um,
look at that.
yeah, it's really cool. He's got it's a very well put together.
I could tell what that bottom piece right here is. Can you see my mouse? That little circle?
Yeah.
It's the shoulder hub for R2D2.
Well, it's funny because I was like, hey, can I show some of this stuff? And he's like, yeah, you can. I just don't want people to get, think that I'm in production on some of these things. So,
Yeah.
So
he's working on some Stormtrooper stuff.
Yep. Those are the Vader.
Oh, it's Vader. My bad.
Yeah, that's Vader. Yeah, those are the shin guards for Vader.
And there you are with Manny. That's cool, man. That's great that you got to go see him.
Yeah.
Spend some time.
He's such a kind dude, man. I'll tell you what. Hey, you can go ahead and turn that picture off. God dang, that son bitch has put on some weight that night. I'm working on it, guys. Son of a bitch. That is terrible. Yeah. It was
I'm on that same mission right now. Trust me.
Jeez, buddy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So what else? Tell us about your trip. So you flew down to Florida.
Yep. Flew into Florida and I was able to so Manny has it's a Stan Winston. So Stan Winston put together these 10 Terminators for the Planet Hollywoods. And the artist out of the same molds and everything, I was able to pick one of these things up from him. And so that was the main reason that I went to see Manny.
All right. Can we show that really quick?
Yeah.
For the restaurant reveal. Well, let's show this picture actually first. Hold on. Let me bring this one up first. Oops.
Yeah, there's Manny at it. So he's soldering his stuff. So when I got there that morning, he's just soldering away. So guys, I got to tell you this story. It's really, really, it's a funny story before we go any further. So real quick.
Yeah.
So I was there and I was going to meet a gentleman, Bruce, that builds the DeLoreans, the Back to the Future DeLoreans, because I was going to pick up the rest of my prop replica parts for the car. And I said my goodbyes, did our hugs and everything, but I was having problems with my phone getting the GPS and stuff. So I told him goodbye, went outside, and I came back in and I said, hey, this isn't working. And then I left again. And then I came back in, and poor Manny, he's just sitting there, trying to solder his stuff. And his lovely wife's sitting there doing some work. And they were laughing because I kept coming back in. I go, I just can't get enough of you guys. Well, when I left for the third time within a 5-minute span, I get in my van as I'm driving off, my phone dies. So I don't know which way to go. I have no idea where to go. And I was kind of in a hurry because I wanted to be on time getting to the next place. But so I sat in the car with it in the charger, but it was taking a while. I thought, well, if I go back in and I can just hang out with Manning for a little bit, they can plug it in and it'll charge. So I go back in there. And they're laughing because I walk back in. I go, I'm just going to hang out. They're like, what are you in a hurry for anyways? So anyway, we put the phone on the charger. I walk out there and I say, you don't stop what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing. And I love being in any type of a studio like this, and I'm walking around looking at some of the things that he has. He has some really, really cool pieces. Yeah. And as I'm walking around in this back corner covered in dust with all this stuff, I'm like, holy shit. I said, Manny, what is this? He goes, Michael, I told you. Remember, I have the life-size speeder bike. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And I'm like, holy crap. So I'm sitting there. I go, do you have all the pieces and the parts? He goes, yeah, there's some things. So anyways, guys, that one little issue, we end up loading that bad boy up in the van. And, so we got another addition to the restaurant. Wow. Now I'm doing some really cool shit with this thing. I ended up picking up this beautiful scratch built by Manny and his Porchmac Studios speeder bike. I mean, it's had a couple broken pieces that I've been working on, and we got it all back together. But just a big thank you to Manny for
That looks
letting
great.
me have this in the collection. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really, really cool. So now I'm in touch with Rob over at RS Prop Masters, and I'm trying to getting a hold of that guy's harder than getting a hold of the president, but we're working on getting a biker scout for this thing, and I found a really, really good mannequin for it. Thanks to our buddy Sean. But yeah, so I've got all these little pieces all put together. There's a little fine detail. Yin's, I'm going to have his dad help. We're going to do some lights and stuff on the speeder bike. So,
Nice.
but I'm really excited for people to see what we're doing with this thing. So,
Man, that's really cool looking.
yeah. And that was, we had a piece of good. But to be honest with you, I mean, I had no idea about this thing, and I'm leaving, driving to the next DeLorean thing, and I'm calling Denise, and I'm like, babe, you're not going to believe this. So, and then she's like, and I try to tell her, no, Manny hooked me up. This is not, because she's just thinking, she knows the lines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no bullshit with,
There's
so.
no, yeah. You
But
didn't
anyway,
win.
I'm like, babe, I'm
win this
telling
in a
you.
raffle. You didn't get it for free.
Yeah, exactly.
She
I'm like, babe, you don't even know. Yeah, well, okay. I can't even talk to her that way anymore. You know what I mean? So she just is used to it, and just goes with the flow. So yeah, we picked up the speeder bike, and then I about an hour. It worked out really good. It was on the way back to Texas. I went and met a gentleman who's now a friend of mine, Bruce, who is hands down the best in my humble opinion. And on the forums, if you look out there, when it comes to taking a factory stock DeLorean and turning it into a true Back to the Future time machine, whether it's one or two, this guy is spot on. And that was Bruce. He was super classy. He had 3 DeLoreans inside his shop, and I was there picking up the pieces, and he was showing me exactly, for accuracy. So even though this DeLorean is going to be crashed in the bar in the restaurant, what you're going to see, it's going to be pretty damn close to spot on when it comes to, how it is on the actual cars. So I'm excited. And I finally have all the parts now, thanks to Bruce. Really excited about that. So, and then Brandon, the fabricator welder back home, has been working on this side of things, doing all the inner chassis stuff, and welders are at the restaurant building these custom mounts coming out of the steel, so it's how it hangs on the wall. Just there's a lot involved. So not just opening up, a restaurant, but just the building process of everything. And it's been a badass ride, just along the journey, putting all these different props and stuff together. And a lot of these, the viewers watching right now have been a big helping me and giving me ideas, and so, but yeah, so it was a really, really good trip. Everything went good driving back home, and yeah. So then been just hard at it with the restaurant. We've got a lot of stonework being done outside and whatnot. So
yeah, well, you don't want to show, right? Let's just wait, or what?
that's up to you. I don't mind these guys seeing it. If you want to show it, that's fine.
I mean, I guess it's just the outer part, right?
Yeah, it's just that. That's fine. Kind of give them an idea.
I'm gonna just show them the back part that we were talking about.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so we got a lot of ornamental metal work that's going to be in that top section of the front there, and we're going to be getting the signs going for the dark side. And then these are those big, beautiful stones. These are 2 by 2 by 5 foot stones. And if you guys kind of look straight in over there, there's a side door that's going to go into a private front patio. And it's going to have 8-foot walls built out of these big stones. And those are very rare. You don't see them everywhere. So it's going to be very original looking.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Man. All right. But let's be real here. We didn't even discuss what the trip was actually for. Besides the DeLorean, you weren't there to pick up a speeder bike. You're there to pick up something else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we were there to pick up the Terminator.
Terminator, let's just show it. I mean,
Yeah. So this is a really, really kick-ass piece. I'm very lucky to have this thing, and it's going to be really, really cool. Where it's going to be displayed, how it's going to be displayed. It's spot on. I mean, the pictures don't do any justice, and the eyes do light up. The eye does light up, and I did added a little bit more blood and stuff to the face.
now is this a custom piece or is it something that was like made and then?
So like I said, Stan Winston Studios made some. These were originally made and molded for the Planet Hollywoods.
Gotcha.
And that's where Manny got this from one of the artists that worked over at Stan Winston that did all the work on that thing. So from the belt that he's wearing, it's pretty spot on accurate.
Yeah.
And I did a little bit of work because it's been sitting in the trip back. I did some work around his leg and stuff, but I mean the flesh is real. I mean it's amazing.
Here I got the leg. Man, that looks crazy.
Yes.
And the face.
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
Yeah, that's
Look at
crazy.
the-
So how many full size Terminators are you gonna have in the restaurant? This one and then the endoskeleton, or?
Correct.
Gotcha.
And I'm debating on whether I'm going to take the endoskeleton up there or not. You know, I kind of like having, that that's in my main living room and in my main house.
Yeah.
So there's just certain things that,
Yeah.
I'm still debating because we're pretty set with all that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, look at it. Look how the details. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Man. And then speaking of Izzy, he's been still hard at work
Stars.
with this, right?
yep. Yeah,
This is the last one.
that's the last one in this series collection of the 3 mini rigs. He's done one that's outside of the series, but this was today. He sent me these pictures, and it just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But look at how big that wheel is. Isn't that cool? You see that the original one's in his hand.
Yeah.
He's showing the wheel, the little one. But just for scale, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you see in the back, he's been, he's just hard at it, and I appreciate all his work. It's really cool.
Yeah. That's
So once I get all that stuff, I'm going to do a video on Starkiller.
to show him off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been, in solitude when it comes to the channel. I've just been so busy with the dark side. And
Well, that'd be really cool to do like a grand tour of the restaurant too on there.
yeah, exactly. Sure.
And then you also got do you want me to show what you got in today, what you opened today?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was really cool. I was getting kind of concerned, but but yeah, it came well packed. And for you guys that didn't see this on my Instagram or hear me and Gabe talk about the auctions in the past, this one right here is a concept Cylon that was designed by Joe Johnston, who was very involved, as you guys know, in Star Wars, but also had his hand in also on Battlestar Galactica in between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. He was very involved in Battlestar. One of the craziest thing that really drew me to this thing was the fact that it has actual studio scale original pieces on there. Yeah. So that mouth section, if you guys didn't know already that I've heard it before, those are Viper engines for the Cylon ship. So it has actual studio scale model pieces on this, and it actually has all the wiring. I guess I haven't got into it. It's real fragile, but on the inside of where that eye looking thing is, there's wires. So I think they had it to where it lights up, but I'm going to look into it. But I've talked to a friend of mine, Mark Elkins, who's really into Battlestar, and a couple, Joseph, I talked to you, I believe, about if I should, fix it all up. But most people, the feedback I'm getting is to leave it, the
Yeah.
lineage, and leave it alone. So
Yeah, you always want to leave screen use. I mean, even production props and screen use props, it's just
Yeah.
best to just leave them alone. I mean, if it's something simple like a wire, is just like, you just got to tap it into a battery,
yeah,
maybe. But
yes,
you
yeah, because
know,
I thought, should I put LEDs in it? But yeah, then I'm taking away all the originality. So,
Right.
and another thing that came with that, check this out. This was almost just as exciting because it was done off of the Joe Johnston drawings. Everybody knows that he's the guy who did, for Star Wars, he did all the, the sketches, the production sketches. And well, I have the original here,
let's see.
sketches.
What?
Yeah. So these were the sketches that he did. So I think it'd be really cool. This one right here is the original. It'd be really cool to have his signature on this thing, but yeah, so it's really cool to see that, and
Yeah, that's
but yeah, I love Battlestar Galactica.
now is that going up in just your home, or are you putting that?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably leave this here at the house.
Yeah. That's because you're not gonna take the life size.
I am.
Cylon, are you?
Life size Cylon will be on display.
Got it.
Yeah, that one needs to be on display and seen. That's stuff. But this is like a personal thing. I don't want anybody to, it's kind of a small little piece. So even though everything's going to be behind,
yeah, but you still,
glass.
you don't want to.
No.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about like everything else, like okay, the replicas and stuff, like you could always do it again, right? You could always make them again. This kind of piece,
Yeah, no.
It's,
So now I got to figure out the display, how I'm going to display it, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that I mean, it's pretty flat, right? Or is it an actual full helmet, or is it?
No, it's a full helmet. You could put it on.
Oh, all the way to the back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so then you might need a full case because I thought it was like just like half, like a half helmet.
So like how I have the 3PO head displayed.
Yeah, that would look.
I might do something like that because those are classy cases, those Hobby Lobby cases.
Yeah.
So, and man, I didn't show you, Gabe, and the pictures don't do justice. But holy crap, I got the Cantwell drawings back from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, these pictures. So we did. Let's see. Yeah, here's a sample one that we did. Let's see. Okay. The colors, the way they did it's hard to tell in the picture, but
you said it.
Yeah. What do you call that? The mat. Bless you. The mat on the outside. It's like a really off green, and the shadowing that Cantwell did on this original Star Destroyer drawing.
You could kind of see.
It's like, yeah. I mean, you got it's the shadowing. It's really hard to tell, but the greens. I mean, it is spot on match of that mat. So that mat it's kind of like a bluish green.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really happy with it.
Yeah. Man, that looks cool.
Yeah. And I got David's Wampa, and same thing. Nice. Turned out fantastic.
The Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. Gotta love them, right?
I'm telling you, man, for framing, it's just, you can't go wrong with them. Like it's crazy. And especially because they're just like whatever about like the framing department probably only has a couple of employees, right? So then you literally, once you befriend them, they'll do anything. They're like, I want you to do this and shape, cut this. They're like, oh, sure, no problem.
Yeah, she took the time. I was like picking out their normal standard colors, and she's like, no. And then they have that big fold out book of all these different. She's like picking out, and I was going to go the whole different color, and it's just like, dang.
By your command.
Oh, that's funny. Man, all you guys have these cool little asset things. That's really cool. Yeah, so we picked out the seats, guys. What is that about? Benjamin. I'm curious. But hey, I was going to show you real quick, guys. Tell me what y'all think about this because I haven't ordered yet and I'm fixing to. But I wanted you to see this. So these were really cool, Gabe, because I thought that it was really like cantina-like. We're talking furniture right now, right?
Yeah.
I talked to Tom Spina today and showed him that Cylon. He really likes that old stuff. He was pretty.
What'd he say? Really cool.
Yeah, he was like, damn. That's a terrible picture. Sorry. Yeah, because it's off the screen. Yeah, that one's better. But you see the backing on those? That's what in the booths. It's not going to be square like that. They're going to be rounded booths.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to be doing black with black, and then we're going to have the logos on the
Nice.
tables. But you see, it kind of has that like look,
Yeah, especially that other picture that you sent. Like,
yeah,
very cantina.
yeah, exactly. Or think about the Falcon or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just was taking pictures to make sure we're on the same page. But yeah, we're ordering all that stuff early this next week. So
nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's just overwhelming sometimes. But
No, I bet.
it's been fun. I love the building process. So
Yeah.
but,
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I have the only pickup I've gotten this last week was the Ghostbusters proton pack.
man, everybody. So is that like special orders and they're just now coming in?
Yeah, it was
okay because I see a lot of people are posting that.
Yeah, it was ordered through. Yeah, Leah's been obsessed on it here.
Yeah, he sent me his. Something about the sound is pretty bad.
Force ghosts are getting out of hand.
That was my I was like, how do let me bring it up. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And yeah, there's this whole community of people that just make them super different and all crazy. There you go. Let me see. But it's really
the Force
legit.
ghosts are getting out of hand.
Yeah, even
Golly, that looks like you custom built it.
yeah.
And that's a Hasbro piece?
The Force ghosts are getting out of hand.
Dude, and then
Damn.
but you saw even Jason Eaton got one and he was like, I'm in love. Everyone that's been getting it is just like I'm in shock that it's that good. Because it was only like $400. I didn't expect I thought it was like, oh, it's gonna be like a cheapy toy, like I'm gonna have to do a lot of work to it to like get it good.
Yeah.
And look, if you dive into it, there's probably tons of work. Like Lee's already down this rabbit hole where he's just like obsessing about like changing everything on it, right?
Yeah.
To the point where I think he's just gonna build one from scratch because he's just like he wants an 84 one because this is actually replicated to be like the Spengler pack from the new movie from the I don't know, Afterlife, I think it's called.
Gotcha.
So
well, I'll tell you what, man, that company is really stepped it up, man. I mean, for when it comes to this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Is it through HasLab? Is that done through HasLab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically that whole crowdfunding thing, right?
Right.
Like if you get to a certain point, you get like another level and so
Right.
forth.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Adam Savage did a video on like he kind of reweathered it. He kind of changed some of the things. I think the problem with that is that I don't want to jump into it because it looks great as is, right? And nobody would know the difference unless you're like deep into it, right? Like you're gonna jump in there and start looking at pictures and all the modifications and all that stuff. So I haven't wanted to jump in there because I know myself. As soon as I start jumping in, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna have to change this part. I'm gonna have to change this part. I'm gonna have to do this,
Yeah.
So I'd rather just leave it as is.
How are you going to display it?
That's also another interesting scenario because the thing weighs like 35 pounds. It's heavy. Like, I mean, if feels like a real like
Yeah.
right, like a real machine. So originally I thought I was gonna put it inside of like a type of like frame, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, like a shadow box type of frame. The problem is that I think it's going to be too thick, too wide. Like there's just too many complications with that. So I might just end up just hanging it on the wall somewhere. But maybe I'll put like a little frame around it or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just such a big clunky thing to put up there, you know. So
Did you get that the Andor prop mounted yet? The gun?
no, so that's the other thing I need to figure out. So
Yeah.
and the thing is like I'm trying to be strategic because I know like for example like the gaffy stick, like the Regal Robot gaffy stick, right? Like I'm gonna get that, right? So that thing's gonna be about 50 inches long.
I hear that thing's like $3,000.
It's like it's gonna be like $2,000, yeah.
Oh, it's two grand, not $3,000.
I don't know, it's $2,000, yeah.
Okay. That's a
Um,
big difference. Okay.
so it's it's gonna be freaking long ass piece, right? I mean, that's the problem. And it's not like, I mean, you could hang it, sure, right? But I don't know if that's the right way to display that. So now I got to figure out because I'm going to need 50 something plus inches, right, to display this thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'll probably end up doing a base for like an acrylic case and everything for it. Maybe I got to see, right? I got to look at the space.
Yeah.
I have a perfect spot for it, but that means I'm gonna have to get rid of all the studio scale stuff that I have right there. So, which I mean, that might be an option. I might just keep the studio scale kind of separate and just move it. Because it's not a lot. Like, I mean, it's really on that side. All it is the mass replica is Snowspeeder, that Icon's TIE Fighter. I have the ball speeder that Jens made, and I think and the T16 is right there. So, but if I get rid of those, I could put them somewhere else, and then I could kind of set it up nice there. It'll probably go there. So then once I get that set up, that gives me enough room because the gun from Andor is also pretty big, right? It's like probably about a little bit over maybe 2 feet.
Damn.
So like, yeah. So, but like, obviously once you put it in a case, you're going to need some space on it. So I think the case would be probably about 3 feet.
Did you already get all the plaque and the pictures and stuff?
No, I got the pictures all ready to go. The plaques, what's interesting. I told you my wife just got into like hobbying, like doing little crafts here and there. Like she has like a 3D resin printer. Yeah, she has 2 resin printers. She has like all these things where she's been doing all these crafts. Apparently she knows how to do plaques, and she knows how to do them with like sublimation, where like the ink actually gets, I don't know, somehow infused into the into the aluminum. So we ordered a pack of little plaques. So we're going to test it out this weekend, probably tomorrow.
Wow, that'd be badass if she could do those, right?
And I want to see what it looks like. And then if it comes out good, like if it's like, wow, like this is great, like this is going to come out great, then I might just start making my own plaques, right? I mean, and then I could just start getting them different sizes, and I could kind of design them myself. That'll just open up a lot of cool possibilities.
Right.
Wow. So,
hey, Jeff's asking,
oh, this one right here. The artist,
badass looking.
Yeah. So the artist, and I told you I'm spacing on his name. I'd have to look it up. But that artist does a lot of similar art prints like this, where it's like the Star Wars character, like very small in like a big perspective. Really, really cool artwork. And then that one's obviously like the vintage toys, and these are all like from like Acme Archives, the print shop. There's a couple of them. Like,
you got some really cool pics back there. It just hit me that those are all the pictures that you were never really able to hang, right?
Yeah, and you can't really see everything. There's a lot more stuff in here that you can't really see. So I have like 3 full walls of just like artwork and like posters. And I was like, finally, I was able to put stuff up here. But yeah, and that's still not enough. Like I mean, I don't know who I was talking to. Who was? Oh, weren't we mentioning on this show that? So I used to work at a movie theater. Like so, right
Yeah,
out
you
of
talked about it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about the reels and everything.
I have hundreds and hundreds of posters from my time at the movie theater, but there's a lot of them that I want to hang up, right? Like
Yeah.
there's like, you know, certain ones like the James Bond teaser poster from Goldeneye, the one that it has like the figure of the girl and then it's like the gun. Yeah, I have a ton of them that I want to frame up and figure out where to put up here. But yeah, but I figured all like the prints at least get them up here and put them up.
That's a great idea. That's cool. I'm excited to see what Andy does.
I like the nacho also. Oh, the El Santo. El Hijo del Santo. Yeah, I got to meet him at Comic-Con. So like it's like a famous yeah, that's the funniest thing about like there's like in Mexican cinema in the like probably like late 60s through the 70s, they like glorified the wrestlers where like especially this one El Santo where like they would make full motion pictures of like his adventures, but it was hilarious because he would always wear the mask. So he'd be wearing like a suit and like or like whatever, you know, normal clothes, but he always had his mask on. And they're always like, I mean, pretty cheesy, right? I mean, it's like El Santo versus the women vampires, or like El Santo versus the mummies, or like against Frankenstein. So it's that kind of movie. But anyways, but I grew up on those. I grew up watching those. So it was kind of cool that's the son of El Santo. So I got to meet him at a Comic-Con, so he autographed it for me and all that. So
Were you a big wrestling fan?
no, I mean I was like maybe when I was like in elementary school. Actually, when I came to the United States, obviously like it was like a big it was like a big thing with the WWF and like Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior and all that stuff. So
what about Goldberg? Do you remember Goldberg? Bill Goldberg?
That was after my time, but I do know who he is. Yeah, because he lives by you, right? Like,
Yeah. He'll be at our grand opening for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah,
man. I actually have a screen, or I guess a ring used Hulk Hogan shirt that's ripped up. Like he like ripped up on.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I got it's screen matched to the match. Actually, it wasn't even a match. It was like a. You know how I don't know if you watched wrestling, but every once in a while they'll do like little segments in between the matches, and it would like he would on this one it was when Hulk Hogan came out and he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna fight this person and SummerSlam and this and that, and he got out and he like rips up his shirt. So that's the shirt and it's all ripped up. So
I'll never forget, Gabe, when I was I don't know. Maybe like it was right when I was moving to California and I had flew in. But I remember in the airport, Hulk Hogan coming out and it was his wife at the time, little blonde chick, like at his hip, and he was freaking massive. I just remember seeing that dude and just thinking, holy shit.
Yeah.
But that was cool seeing Sylvester Stallone pick that big bitch up and throw him over the ring, right? And Rocky. I was like,
yeah, right.
Crazy.
Yeah. So yeah. So and I wasn't. I mean, I obviously as a kid I was, but I never really kind of stuck through it. So
I never was into wrestling at all. I just wasn't into it. I went out to Goldberg's. He's building a badass. He's into cars. So him and my son have a lot in common, and he's just super cool dude to my boy. But yeah, I went out there with Cody to drop off pick up his truck and Goldberg's truck, and he was just showing me around, and it's crazy seeing he's got like, I mean, a shit ton of vehicles,
Okay.
he's a big into Mopar stuff, but he's got just some really crazy stuff. And
does he have the Dukes of Hazzard car?
No, he doesn't have that, but he's into like really, like he's got this one car. It's all in a bubble and shit, but
Mhm.
It's I can't remember, but it was like from Vietnam War. It's through Ford. It's worth a lot of money. It's got this crazy motor. It's a Mustang, I think.
Hmm.
I can't remember, but maybe
Yeah.
one day I'll show you guys. But it's because I asked him what's your favorite vehicle in here, because he's got all kinds of shit in there. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, crazy. But like he makes fun of if you pull up in a Ferrari or a Porsche, he makes fun of you, dude. It's funny because he's all American made, dude. So I'm like,
Yeah,
whatever, dude. He just because his big ass can't fit in it. That's why.
Funny. Johnny's asking, is it the Ford GT or not?
No, no, it's older than that. It's older than that. So
Yeah. I love that because the GT is one of my
That's-
favorite.
that's actually hands down like the one car I would like to get is a GT.
Yeah.
If I knew what I knew now, I would have got one way back when I would have had a chance to afford it versus what they cost now. They're just you could back in the day you could buy that car for, I know it's still a shit ton of money, 150 grand, 170 grand, where now they're over $500,000. So,
Yeah. There's GT, right? And there's the GT40, that's the newer one, right? Like that's the
I'm not sure. I don't know exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I've driven one. I raced a Porsche twin turbo at an airport one day on the runway of up here. It was amazing.
Man.
Yeah.
That's
So yeah, I just saw today too, Gabe. Sorry to cut you off.
no.
I saw Jazz Inc. just posted an update on their 6-scale Snowspeeder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got they've come a long way with it. It's been kind of a slow process, but these things are huge. It was on a YouTube. I just saw it on YouTube, and it was on Facebook as well. Yeah, but they got all the things together. It's pretty cool.
Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool deal. Yeah, and I would like to see Stevens, what you were telling me about his
video to show you the first 3
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
samples of the Snowspeeder. So what we do here is we test all the molds, all the pieces, and all the production parts that we have designed and produced, and start with the first 3, as you can see, for the 2 different variants of the Snowspeeder. See how everything fits together, how it can be painted, the lights and everything. As soon as we have finished this, we can then test out how everything goes in assembly. Usually we do a couple of small changes here and there, make sure everything fits, make sure like this, you can see it can stand on its own landing skids, testing out how to paint and weather, if there's a more efficient way or a less efficient way, in this case with an optional acrylic display stand that the group has asked for. So a small acrylic display stand was scheduled, as you can see on the product page, but because of the size of the weight and the fact that people wanted a banking angled option like this, we are looking into how to make this optional display stand. Of course, we also test to see how the Hot Toys Snowspeeder Luke pilot fits in. As you can see, he fits in perfectly. There's a room for a gunner in the back. So overall, we're very happy with how this turned out, but there are a couple of changes that the group requested that we, of course, listened to. You see the wider, lighter panels. Now, that is accurate in the sense that there should be a paint difference between those panels, but the difference is a bit too much. So I'm going to be toning that down. In terms of the interior, we're going to be adding a decal to that gunning station. Now, the weathering, we might do a little bit more paint chipping. So overall, listen to the group feedback, do a little update. I will show you some more after I've updated it, especially with, like I said, with the lighter panels, they pop a little bit too much. One other thing that we need to change is the width of the front orange and gray line, and we need to make sure there's a little bit of spacing around the front intakes, their small vents, the small squares in that line, and there should be a little bit of gray space around that is currently missing. So that leaves the final thing to address, and a question I get asked a lot: when do pre-orders close? Now, if you're part of the Facebook group or watched any of my old YouTube videos, you will have heard me mention that I will stop making extras. So like basically building room into a batch or production edition size. And that's because I've been burned too many times by that, especially on the Star Wars stuff. So that means I'm only making exactly as many units as there have been pre-ordered by a set date. And I try to push that date back as far as I can. For the Snowspeeder, with my suppliers, I've been able to push that date back to the end of February. So that means starting from the publishing date of this video, have about 6 weeks to place your pre-order to make sure your order gets counted anytime after that. So then there's the gamble of putting yourself on the wait list. But I just want to be fair. There's a huge wait list for a lot of our stuff, from the 1966 to the Bat Signal to the Land Speeder and other Star Wars stuff. So I hope you're happy with what you're seeing. We sure are. And as soon as I have an update on the new paint job, I will show it to you. And thanks for watching. Hey.
There you go.
Man, we need to get him back on the show again.
Yeah,
and do,
right with that.
and do a product. Yeah, because, you know, right when we got him on, he had just picked up his license with Warner Brothers. You remember that?
Yeah. Sorry, as they were playing, I found the artist that Jeff was asking about. His name is Andy Fairhurst.
Oh, that one's cool.
Yeah. So he's all about perspective. So he does stuff very in kind of far perspectives. So
hey, is that Jaws one still available, or is that like a run that ended?
Yeah, I'll check right now. Yeah, but there's here. That's the one that I had right here.
Yeah, that's badass.
No. Yeah, no, I love that. I love that far away perspective that he uses. Down.
Yeah, that's so cool. Who's in top? Oh, it's Chewie.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
Chewie. That one's cool with Luke and the Vader X1. That one's kind of cool. That spin in the background.
That's weird, right?
Yeah. Here, let me find. You want me to find that Jaws one?
Yeah, I see. That's really cool. We ought to get him on the show sometime. That's great work.
All right. Yeah, no, he's an amazing artist.
Have you met him or seen him at Celebration or any of those places?
I think at Comic-Con I might have met him, but because just the only reason I remember speaking to, I could have sworn I spoke to him about that picture. But I don't know if it was just someone selling those or if it was actually him.
Can you scroll up the ET one? What was that one?
No, so similar, like that perspective that he does.
Oh, I didn't see that one. That's badass. Yeah, it was a different one. Oh, that one's really cool. It's like when they're trying to phone home.
Mm-hmm. There's another one.
Yeah.
There's the Jaws one. Oh, look at the Jaws underneath. I didn't even see Jaws underneath.
Oh shit, I didn't either.
That's really cool.
That is cool. Damn. Show me the way to go home. Oh, that's cool.
It looks like it's a licensed. He's like a licensed artist, so
wow,
he gets all the.
Yeah, there's the ET one. Is that look? Did you see that? I wonder if that was like a. Ooh, that one's cool too. I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a third hand in on it. I wonder what that meant. Who said if that was supposed to be Spielberg's hand or something, or
maybe. Yeah, you can't buy them on his website. You have to go through either Acme Archives or Bottleneck.
Oh.
So you kind of have to find them now, right? Because you know how those websites sell out all quick. Acme Archives is actually pretty good. They'll keep stock in.
Speaking of Jaws, I'm real excited to you guys to walk into the restaurant and see. I mean, damn.
Yeah. That picture is sick.
So hey, so Steven, he did a display, a new.
Yeah, let me bring that up. Yeah,
I missed
Steven's latest display looks super cool. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up.
Man, I couldn't imagine. I'm thinking about the Jazz Inc. Just going into production, building these big ass pieces. I mean,
Right.
that is a lot to take on. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so wow. Yeah, that's our boy, collector.
Yeah, the display is UK, right?
Yep. Yeah, what a great job. Where's the monkey?
Right there, I see him.
Oh yeah, there it is. Hey, that little monkey, I'm going to tell you, if it's Marion's monkey, that thing's worth, I mean, like hundreds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Isn't it? What's crazy is that's all they came out with, and I loved those toys. I mean, I really do. I like those a lot.
I also so this week it was a pretty busy week for me. Like I was in court all week, and which is rare these days, right? I'm really not in court that much anymore, but this week was just slammed. And I ran into this gentleman who's an attorney as well. He's a prosecutor here in San Diego, and I've seen him at like conventions, right? I knew he was a Star Wars fan. I've known for a long time, and we've talked about Star Wars and stuff. But he told me he finally set up his collection room, and he was just telling me about it. And it's like, I mean, he set up all these dioramas, and I was like, oh man, Michael, my buddy Michael that we do this show on, like he would love that. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. He hasn't finished it yet, like he's still kind of working on it.
Good for him.
Like, yeah.
Has he seen the channel before?
Yeah, I've been telling him about it. He's not very techy. Like he's barely on Instagram.
He's like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
he's on Instagram. Let's see if he said anything.
It's amazing how many Star Wars fans are out there. Yesterday I was meeting somebody about a job working at the restaurant. And there was a guy on a big backhoe tractor, and he was working. He had these headphones on, and he was working in the ditch for the drainage. And I went down there. I had my Starkiller shirt on, and I jumped up on this tractor on his backhoe, and I said, "Hey, buddy, I just wanted to see what we were talking." He goes, "Hey, man, I like your shirt." And this guy is an older dude, working, all day, been in the ditch with this backhoe with these headphones. And I go, "You a Star Wars fan?" He goes, "Oh yeah." And he goes, "I'm listening to Star Wars right now." I guess he was listening to one of the stories that you can get, but he was listening to him on his little headphones. It was just pretty funny.
Oh, that's funny.
And then I told him, "You know what we're doing here?" And I told him about the dark side. He's like, "Are you?"
Oh,
sure?
and he's like,
"What?"
Sorry, kind of loud. But I guess he mixed in like his like vintage figures with like some modern figures and like.
Yeah, people do that all the time. Yeah, that's really cool. Good for him. You know what? That was so cheesy when that movie came out, that music, and you playing that, it's awesome.
The what?
I love that sound.
Right? The original one?
Yeah, I love hearing that.
Wait, no, that's not the original. That's the one that they put in afterwards, right? That's not even the...
Maybe.
No. Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of cool that we were talking Star Wars, and it was funny because like there's a bunch of other attorneys all around us, and they're all kind of watching us geek out. And I was with my wife at that time because she was in court as well. So she's like, or he was like, oh, are you guys gonna go to the Star Wars celebration in Europe? And I was like, I don't know. And I like point at my wife, and I was like, no, we're not gonna do that. Yeah.
Just to kind of get a rise out of her.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, she's like,
hey, I was thinking about you last night, Gabe. I watched this movie, and I was wondering. I'm sure that you've seen it. Richard Gere plays an attorney in Primal Fear. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, Primal Fear. Yeah, that's
a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Do you think that Edward Norton, even Richard Gere, you think those guys are assholes in person, or do you think they're cool?
I mean, I've heard Edward Norton is a dick. So.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
But Richard Gere, I wonder.
I mean, I don't know. I guess at one point they have to kind of humble themselves, especially like Richard Gere. Like he hasn't been in anything since like the 90s.
Officer,
yeah, right. Like the early 2000s.
He's a damn good actor, though. Damn.
Yeah.
And Edward Norton too. I mean, damn good actor. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I can remember running into actors that were like douchebags. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a few of them out there for sure, but people that are, that I've met, that you would think like Arnold Schwarzenegger, super freaking cool dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As they should be, right? Like I think that's how they should be. I don't.
Yeah, like it's how they represent themselves. So
right.
Yeah,
that's why like whenever like I follow The Rock on, and even like I'm not a huge wrestling fan, or I'm not even a huge rock fan, but him as a person, like just him as a
he's got like the biggest following in the world, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's super nice, and he's super humble, and he's just like super kind to his fans, and like that kind of
seems like he'd be cool.
That's the only reason I'm even following him, because I like when sometimes he'll post videos of like his fans coming up to him, and he's like, yeah, come on, like, that's the kind of stuff that means a lot, because a little moment like that is gonna follow somebody for the rest of their lives, sure. and it's up to them to either make it positive or negative. So.
And Tom Hanks is a nice guy.
Nice guy, yeah.
Yeah. You know who I thought was a total douchebag, but he ended up being really nice?
Who?
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Just don't walk up on him in the middle of a dinner like I did. You'd be all right. Thought I wanted an autograph or something. No, dude. I wanted no. But anyway.
You're like, no, I wanted a job.
I was so down, dude, when he was like, not now. Because he was sitting down, so I kneeled down, so I was kind of looking up at him, and he's like, not now. I'm like, I wanted to give him this cool thing, he's like, not now, not a good time. I'm like, all right, so I went back to the table, and I'm like, motherfucker. I mean, I was like, what did I do wrong? It was weird when I was walking up to his table, I was going in between, because it was kind of like it was an awards ceremony thing, and Tom Hanks was at his table. I didn't even look. All like was Spielberg, and I went there. Yeah. Shit. But talking to him after the show, man, he was so nice to me. I cried. I know it's geeky. I know.
I mean, it's overwhelming, right? I mean,
shit.
Like just you growing up with his films and growing up, just idolize these people. I don't know. Like if I were to meet George Lucas, I mean, I don't think like to his face, but I would probably get like kind of shell shocked. Like like starstruck, right? Like,
yes, and I don't get that way, But Spielberg, that was the most I was like. And then of course when I was at Celebration talking to Andy Gutierrez Star Wars show, and she's like, "Oh, hang on," and then went up, Mr. George Lucas. I mean, when he came out right there, I was just like,
"Well, remember." Well, that's remember I told you from this last the D23 convention that I was telling you that my sister-in-law that works for Pixar.
Yeah.
She could go anywhere, and she gave me. I had a pass where I can go anywhere. I could go to the green room. I could go backstage, but I used it to get into the big panel, right? The Lucasfilm panel, and because I got there early, I was like, I want to get good seats, like so. Like I got like really, really good. Not front row because I was like, no, that's too like obvious. Because like, what if the front row is being saved for like special people and I'm all over here just sitting there, you know?
Yeah, and you got to get up and go sit in the very back because it's hard to
Right.
pay.
Yeah, yeah. So I picked like 3 or 4 rows back, but like on the edge on the row. So I had
Yeah.
like perfect view. But as I was sitting there, my sister-in-law is like, I'm gonna go back to the green room. You sure you don't want to come? And I was like, no. And she's like, you should. There's like a lot of celebrities on there. You never know who you're gonna see. And I was like, no, I think I'd rather get a good seat at the Lucasfilm panel because I want to be able to just see everything. I'll be able to see all the actors and all the the celebrities there. And then all of a sudden, maybe 15
I would have went
minutes.
with her, dude. What's your problem?
Well, but then I wouldn't know if I would have got a seat, right? If I would have went with her, because people were starting to come in and start filling in the
Is it
space.
backstage?
With her, she was backstage, so she could have taken me backstage. But it's not like we
You
could have
just stayed backstage even during the show.
I wouldn't be able to watch the show and all the premieres and all the new, you know what I mean? Because they're showing like,
I understand.
they had the whole cast of like Andor and they had the whole cast of
yeah.
Mandalorian. So, but anyways, I didn't know
You could be
like,
getting like shots with your arms around and shit. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, yeah, but I didn't think about it like that because she didn't hype it up because she didn't know who the people were, right?
Right.
All she knew is she was like, yeah, early. I was back there earlier and I saw Don Cheeto, right? That's the only person that she mentioned that she recognized. I was like, nah, I'd rather get a good seat. And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, I'm making friends with like the people next to me and all that. And she texts me and she's like, yeah, Harrison Ford is just here. He's like right here, right in front of me. Like I was like, oh my God. I was like, should I go back there? Like, what do I do? But then
dude,
I was like,
I would have gone.
But then again, like I'm gonna lose my I'm gonna lose my seat. And not only that, but like, what if I go back there and what do I do? Right? Like, what am I gonna do? Like this is the green room. This is all.
See, that's clearly how me and you are different.
Right, we're different, right?
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, you can get in a courtroom with a judge and all these people and all that stuff, no problem. But this kind of stuff, you kind of.
I think two reasons why I hesitated. Number one, I didn't want to lose my seat, obviously. Number two, I had a pass from Pixar, right? Like from her, so like I didn't want to go back there and all of a sudden I'm like, Mr. Ford, like I'm a big fan, like check out my collection. I don't know, like what do I say, right? Like I'm sure he's gonna. And then she starts texting me about that she saw the indie kid back there and she witnessed that whole like interaction. That famous photo of them like when Harrison Ford saw what's his name, Brownhouse, what's his name?
I'm not sure.
The little Asian
talking about.
You know what I mean? The little Asian kid.
Yeah.
So she saw that interaction, like she like witnessed it. So I could have witnessed it, but I would have missed that whole panel. Which looking back on it, I probably made the wrong choice. But
that's okay though.
But obviously, in hindsight, I made the wrong choice. But I wouldn't have known then. But still, it made me think, right? Like, what if I did just like run into like Harrison Ford? I'm just like, holy shit, like what if he's a dick? Like what if he's just an asshole to me? Like what if he's just like, get out of here, kid? Like, Yeah.
I mean, I would never say I'm a big fan of Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
You just talk to him regular, like, man, I bet you're excited to get out of this damn thing, right? You know what I mean?
Sure. Like I said, in hindsight,
Force Awakens suck. I mean, I've noticed you haven't really been doing much since that movie.
No, and like I said, in hindsight, I was like, fuck, man, I should have gone, especially because that panel ended up sucking.
Yeah.
Well, besides Harrison Ford and that whole thing, he came out and that was pretty cool. But yeah, that was one thing that I'll probably always remember. Like, man, I totally made the wrong choice to not go in the back with her. So
I wonder when the next celebration is going to be in the U.S.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't know where though.
Yeah,
maybe back in Chicago or something, or Florida, maybe.
I bet it'd be in Florida, probably.
Yeah,
that'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
Did you go to the Florida one or you went to the Chicago one?
No. I've only gone to the Anaheim ones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then the reason is, I mean, I'm usually like, San Diego Comic-Con was like the convention, right? I mean, even though Celebration was a big
Yeah, for sure.
San Diego Comic-Con was the convention. But now, like the last like 5 years, it's kind of been
Less
dipping. Yeah. Just because
I think it's been dipping because there's so many of them now.
No, I think because once Disney obtained Marvel and Star Wars, Lucasfilm, they kind of started pulling out of the convention because that's really where they would announce all the big movies and all the Marvel movies, all the Star Wars things was at San Diego Comic-Con. And once they took over those IPs, they kind of started focusing on D23 a little bit more, and they started pushing everything over there. And then now, like this last year, I mean, yeah, Star Wars still had a big section there. Marvel still had a section, but there wasn't really that much hype around like, like the celebrities, announcing this new movie and like,
Yeah.
But I'll be there. I mean, we'll be there
For sure.
But
yeah, man. So have you decided whether or not you're going to be making the trip up to Portland?
Oh man, so I gotta tell you about that. I guess I could talk about it here. All right, so yes, we want to, like, that's like I convinced my wife. My wife's down for it. What we would do is we would split it into two because it's about an 18-hour drive from where we're at today. So the plan would be to drive to Sacramento, which her sisters are there, nieces and all that. So we would stop there. We'd probably spend the night there with them, kind of hang out with them, and then finish the drive from Sacramento to Portland. So what ended up happening is right before the new year, my wife was like, oh, I got a recall letter for this like small part on our car, right? And we got one of those brand new Volkswagen ID4s, right? The electric ones. So it's the first generation. It's a newer car. And so I was like, whatever, sure, let's go take it in. They're like, it's gonna be 2 days. Well, here we are, freaking more than 3 weeks ago. We still don't have a car. They keep on like.
Do they put you in a rental?
Oh yeah. We got the rental, but that's not even the issue. The problem is that they just been lying to us left and right. They're like, oh, like we're missing this part, but then just 2 days ago, they barely dropped the battery port, like, because it's all electric. They barely dropped it. So I was like, how would you guys know? Like, how would you possibly know unless you guys dropped it? That means for 3 weeks, you've had my car not even touched. So I was pissed, man. I went in there all lawyered up, suited up, and I was
red and shit.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I was like, look, man, here's the thing. My wife, every day, she's pissed. And look, in the legal community, when people know about Andy and I, they know I'm the nice one. I'm like, you don't want my wife in here fucking threatening you guys, because she already reported you to the Federal Trade Commission. She already reported you to like Volkswagen. Like my wife went like nuts. And I was like, and I'm just like, I hate dropping this, but look, we're both attorneys, right? And we know that in California, after the 30th day, the no lemon law kicks in, and it's a presumptive a lemon. So what I'm telling you is that if we don't have our car back before that 30th day, we don't want it back. Right. We're going to refuse the car. We're going to go through arbitration, and you guys are going to end up giving us a new car. Plain and simple. Like that. That is what it is. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, and in fact, I want to speak to your general manager, because what I'm thinking is going on here is that because it's a recall, you guys aren't making any labor, like hourly labor dollars, right? Because you're not charging anyone. You're doing it for free. I'm suspecting that because we're not a priority, you're just putting our car over there. So if you want to charge me for it, I'm happy to pay for it, and I'll just sue Volkswagen on the back end for it. They're like, no. Like,
they get paid, Gabe. They get paid.
I'm sure they do, but
they do. They get paid from the manufacturer.
But those guys are also on commission. So they're on commission to like upsell like services and stuff.
Oh,
that was my point. Like that, I'm like, because you're not making your commission on this. Yeah, sure, the dealership's going to get paid, but I'm sure they're, whatever commission they're going to get, they're not. So I started asking, like, well, who's the general manager? He's like, oh, well, it's the owner of the dealership. I was like, okay, well, give me his information. He probably should know that you only have one guy that's like trained to fix these types of cars. And in California, I mean, it's going that route where all the cars are going to be electric, in the near future.
Yeah.
And you only have one guy that's able to work on them. I was like, I need to speak to him. They wouldn't give me his number. They wouldn't give me his name. So I was like, that's fine. You guys know what's coming. So if you guys don't want to, so we've been dealing with that. So that puts a little kink in the.
So you wouldn't buy a Volkswagen again? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, we love the car. See, that's the problem, is that we love the car. And it was just it was this little tiny little recall.
Yeah.
And it was just, unfortunately, the service people just ended up sucking, right? But then now it's more out of principle that we're gonna have to like.
So that being said, we're talking about the trip
Mhm.
to Portland.
So depending on the car situation, right?
Okay.
So depending if we get it back soon, then obviously we have to plan kind of the route, right? Because it's an electric car.
Yeah.
Most we can do is about 260 miles per charge.
Jeez.
So we would probably have to charge maybe like 4 or 5 times, like, up to Portland.
I
So-
just don't want to worry about that kind of stuff.
I know. So it almost might be worth just getting the rental and just doing it.
Yeah.
So again, we're just trying to figure out those logistics, and then
I just got notification off of that subject. I've got a notification from Regal that my weekway is en route.
Mhm.
I've got 2 weekways headed my way, actually.
from that the guy doing the masks.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you end up getting the Regal Robot one?
I did.
You did, okay. Because that one I got the notification that it's on the way. So
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I did too.
yeah, okay.
I didn't know you got that one. That's cool.
Yeah. No,
I like it because it's got like hair on it and stuff.
it's a
I
big.
just wish they would do the Ewok. I don't know if that book I gave you, Gabe, that
Oh, it's all on there.
but that one page, it's not on that one. But if you skip up, you keep turning the pages,
Yeah.
you'll see an Ewok maquette all by itself, and it's got real hair on it and stuff. I'm sure it was a Phil Tippett build, but that'd be a really cool piece. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just looks cool, and it's big. That's
Yeah.
the cool part. The
Oh, it
size.
is, isn't it? It's a little bit bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, because look at the Max Rebo.
Oh shit!
Compared to it.
Yeah.
It's a chunky piece.
I wonder what number I'm getting.
I don't know. I was really surprised I didn't get number 1, and then DL Collector, which is the couple that you met at ICC. See, remember the ones that you took a picture with? They like took a picture together with you, and they're in the group, and they watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They watched the show. Yeah. Those.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
He
I
ended
would
up.
love to say hello to those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were super cool.
Yeah, he ended up getting number 1. And,
Are they? Do they ever? Are they on the show? Do they ever talk on the show?
Yeah, every once in a while they pop in there and comment.
Bring it up when they do, because I'd like to.
They might be watching right now.
Yeah.
They post on the Collection Wars group.
Yeah, they were very classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this one. And then you just kind of announced Re-Eyes, right?
Yeah, Reese.
Rees.
Yep.
So that'd be kind of cool. I'll probably get that one too.
The
All the
Reese.
main characters I'll probably do. I didn't do the Tauntaun busts. You did, right? Did you get these?
I did.
Yeah. I didn't. And I'm still I'm still kind of really thinking about it, because my completist, right? Like my collector mentality is
Yeah.
like, watch in a year, once I have all these other maquettes, and I'm gonna go back and think, man, I should have gotten the Tauntaun ones. But
I'll tell you what, man. He was. This was a. I don't mean to say gold mine, but this was a very successful move for Tom on the maquettes.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think it's good because, they're not crazy high. And just to have that kind of a collection of maquettes, I wanted to, when I was talking to him today, to send him a picture of that Ewok. I know people are giving them their suggestions, but that one should happen, And did we talk about the license, the Raiders of the Lost Ark license that he has now?
I don't think we talked about it because they just announced it, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks?
Oh, okay. I'm just curious what he's going to do with that. I know somebody mentioned magnets for sure, but
yeah, he kind of was talking about it briefly. He did a Facebook Live. Where he was talking about it.
Okay.
I think they might start with probably like more decor stuff besides replica stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm interested in that too. That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I just don't know what kind of replica stuff that he could come out with. That he would.
Probably gonna be like the wall decor, kind of the same stuff as right? Like, because I'm sure there's a lot of cool indie stuff. Like there's gonna be like the Kenobi bar, right? Or Obi-Wan, what bar Obi-Wan or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
The bar from the best Indiana Jones film ever made.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right? Isn't it called something like that? It's like Bar Obi-Wan or something like that.
I have no idea.
What?
I don't know. I don't even know what.
Yeah, remember that very first scene in Temple of Doom where like
oh yeah, I definitely know.
Oh come on, you've seen it though, where they give him the poison and he's trying to get the antidote for the poison, and they're all like running around the bar. Like, you don't remember that?
I honestly, I don't. I just don't know that movie that well. You know what? I'm going to give it a watch because, I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. You know what I mean?
It's Club Obi-Wan sign. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of little hidden Easter eggs.
Because I think the cinematography in it, the colors and everything. My buddy Lee, not our Lee, but another Lee, was watching it today when I went over to see him. He's like, "Hey, look what I'm watching. It's pretty funny."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not? Just give it a watch. Give it a watch.
I watched Last Crusade the other day. I went right to sleep, but just like a little.
And for me, I'm like, I thought Last Crusade was cheesier, right?
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool seeing all that. I'm trying to be excited about the new one coming out.
Yeah. I guess there's a new Tron coming out. You guys see that?
Yeah, everybody was talking about that. Yeah, I know Lee told me about it yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's cool. No. Tron 2 was pretty good. Yeah.
I heard that they're making a Gladiator too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, without Russell Crowe though.
Oh.
Yeah. But based off of like the kid. So Lucius or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of interesting that that Regal Robot got the Indiana Jones license for props as well. Just because I know there's a lot of them out there and there's a lot of people that have made the idol and things like that. But I think Tom would make that freaking badass. Like,
okay, which are you talking about? The fertility idol?
Fertility idol. Yeah.
I mean, how could it be any? I mean,
well, because like the original one, right? Doesn't it have like moving eyeballs and like?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's a little more like intricate than the ones they've been putting out. Plus, if it comes out with like a cool base or something, I don't know. I'm just
Speaking
saying.
of the base, that's another cool thing in the works. But yeah, I'm curious, but I think it's exciting though.
Yeah,
I really do. So.
Yeah, and then again the gaffy sticks, definitely gonna get the A New Hope one for sure.
You gonna use your credit? Sorry, but anyway, yeah. So what else? Yeah, the Tron thing. It'll be cool to see.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh man. So,
Tron. I'm trying to pull up the.
Hey guys, so I know some of you guys have the volume turned down because y'all are watching our show for sure, right? But the Philadelphia Eagles at halftime were kicking the crap out of the Giants. Did something come back? Anything? Did it turn out to be an okay game? Is anybody in the chat watching that by chance? I'm curious. That are into football. I know Pete, he's not on here, so he's watching Philadelphia for sure. Who won? Oh, I know Philly had to have won. It was like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Who won? Philly?
Philly. Yeah. I mean, it was 27-0 at halftime.
Check this out. See that?
Yeah.
Entertainment spell.
Thank you, Raging Mando. Appreciate that. Damn, it is a blowout. Thanks, Jalen. Damn.
Jeez.
Man. That sucks.
It's because they didn't have water in their hotel. You hear about that?
No, who?
I guess the Giants.
Oh, they're kidding.
Yeah, like the hotel they were staying at, there's a water breakage or like a pipe
Oh, damn.
broke, so they didn't have any running water for a while.
What's the story behind this?
Oh, I guess Factory Entertainment's going to put it out. So it's the flux capacitor.
And does it have a price on it yet?
I don't know. Probably not. But usually their props are pretty reasonable. Like I got this one and it sold out, and they sent me the invoice, but I'm just like, do I really want it? Like, should I just lose? I was like,
that big staff.
yeah, I got the staff, but I was like, do I really want the sword? Like, I think like the deposit was only like $50 or something like that. So I'm like, I could lose it. I don't really care.
Okay, Joseph, thank you.
It looks kind of cool.
I figured Joseph would know.
Oh yeah, is Joseph still on here?
Yeah. Is that the one that you have, Joseph? Is it like a remake of it?
Wait, it's a grand for the flux capacitor?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's a lot, right?
That is for Factory Entertainment. That's pretty high up there, and especially for that, just because Diamond Select, right, which is Gentle Giant now, or they put one out a while back, and it was only like a couple $100.
Dang.
Although this does have more like details, kind of see the sides and all that. I might have to get that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, Factory Entertainment's gonna. I mean, remember at I told you at Comic-Con they had a bunch of props that they're coming out with.
Wow.
A lot of James Bond props, which I love. They're gonna come out with the Odd Jobs hat, and it has like the blade underneath and everything.
So would you say that James Bond is like the movies that's like your favorite?
Yeah, like you mean my favorite James Bond or just?
Yeah, I mean, do you like James Bond? Is it like do you have like not like which is your favorite James Bond, but is James Bond like one of your favorite movies to watch?
Yeah, like franchises.
Yeah.
I think it
That's
probably
what I was
goes.
trying to say.
Yeah, it probably goes like Star Wars #1, James Bond #2,
Okay.
probably Back to the Future #3,
Gotcha.
so forth.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, and again, I think it goes back to my uncle Carlos, who sometimes comments on here, just because he was always a big James Bond fan. So I grew up kind of watching the Connery ones, and I mean,
Yeah, so Connery's that's your favorite.
oh yeah. Connery's my Bond, and then after that it's Pierce Brosnan, and the only reason Pierce Brosnan is because he's my first like adult James Bond, like when I was an adult, right? Like because there's that big gap when Timothy Dalton stopped doing Bonds, probably what in the like 88, 89, 90, right? Something around there, right? Like License to Kill, and then 96-ish when Pierce Brosnan. So
I know it sounds kind of cheesy because I know Brian just said Craig and Connery, but I'm a big Roger Moore. I loved Roger.
yeah,
Moore.
and I think again, it's because of that's the time that you were.
You're right.
You're
Yeah.
right. Like that's,
Yes.
you're old enough. You're an adult watching those movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I did I hated the ending of the last James Bond movie. I hated it.
Hmm.
So I mean, I guess James Bond dies, right?
I mean, I guess. Eh?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it
I
kind
mean,
of was
well, we'll see. There's no way they're going to end the franchise, right? So I
right,
mean,
right.
it's just going to be another 007, right? So
Yeah,
it's like Blofeld. I mean, Blofeld dies multiple times, and all of a sudden he's back at it again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and hey, off that, so everybody, did y'all hear? I'm sure you did. It's been a few weeks, and he just got released. But Jeremy Renner was seriously injured.
Yeah, a while back. Yeah, and I guess he was trying to like say like, I guess it like a snowmobile ride or something.
Yeah,
Like,
snowplow. It's a badass. It's if you see the actual rig, it's cool looking. It's like, you know, it's a big ass thing, but he got run over by that damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
yeah, no,
crazy.
he looked pretty bad when you know in the hospital.
You know, isn't it freaky? Like, you know, something like that happened to him, and it's kind of like in a trillion years, you'd never know that he
Yeah.
plays the little Russian in Star Trek.
Yeah,
The brakes come loose in his Jeep Cherokee, and it pins him between the garage door or whatever at his
Yeah.
house and kills him. I mean, that's just the freakiest weird shit thing, you know?
yeah, or like you hear of all these like celebrities that all of a sudden it's like their kid died because they
Yeah.
fell out of a window or like slipped in the bathtub.
Oh,
Like,
I know. It's weird. I remember hearing Tyson's son hung himself accidentally
yeah,
in the window.
yeah, no, with the treadmill. I think it was
Yeah,
like
yeah. You remember that?
yeah.
Yeah. And then of course Lisa Marie Presley, dude.
Mm.
It's almost like, you know, I have no way, you know, we're just all talking, right? But I
Right.
mean, but it's like clearly this chick had a problem, and it's like nobody
Right.
did anything about it, man. But you know, she lost her son. She's tired. You know,
Yeah, man. I
it's
mean,
just sad, dude. It's really sad.
I think there's a whole generation too of celebrities that like remember I think we talked about it, like probably on the same medications, like the same
Yeah.
painkillers,
Yeah,
because it's like Michael Jackson, Prince, you know,
Yeah.
all those guys were kind of on similar meds.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She was definitely on some serious shit.
Yeah.
You know.
So-
So hopefully she's got a couple kids, you know, left. I think she's got 3 daughters, but hopefully they are strong and through this shitty ass, you know, the way these young kids are nowadays. Hopefully,
Well, they got to keep their parents, you know, image
Mhm.
alive, right? I mean, because that's the thing. Like over time, you know, you give it 2 generations, and yeah, Elvis is one of those ones that's like,
it'll
Right,
never
like-
die.
yeah, never gonna die, right? He's always gonna be around.
Mhm.
But I mean, you just never know, right? Like, keep on fast forwarding into, you know, our great grandkids. They're gonna be
yeah,
like,
yeah,
ooh, like,
yeah. Somebody sent me on Instagram today. You know, it showed kids in the '80s. You know, and they were on BMX bikes, like jumping,
Yeah.
and then oh, that's badass. And then it shows today's kids, and they're on
Joseph
scooters.
yeah. I need this right here. So Joseph sent me these we took these, or he took these at Comic-Con, but I was right next to him when he was taking them. Yeah, these are cool. I definitely want that. It's the ejector seat from the little button from Goldfinger from the Aston Martin. Here's Oddjob's hat.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, here's the. I picked up these. I got those cards, the chips. I mean,
That's crazy. That little stuff sells like it does, right?
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That,
Man, they have a lot of stuff. I'm surprised you don't have all of it.
well, it's still coming out. Like, it's,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's all
You're
like,
like, hey,
yeah, it's all set to come out. Oh, I'm gonna get it. Trust
I'm
me.
gonna get it all.
Yeah, like the James Bond props. Like, I'm gonna. Well, I mean, not all of them. Like all the Connery ones for sure. I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
But yeah, man.
that's cool.
But cool, man. But yeah, I mean, today, unfortunately, I can't stick around that long. We talked about it. Yeah, unfortunately, my little one got sick, so we're gonna you know,
Understand.
got to take care of her and stuff. And I'm in charge of the other one, so
Understand. 100%. You know, before we get off, I want to tell everybody that my little Haley, I bought a while back this because I was thinking of Steven and his son and how talented he is in the Lego building. He builds these amazing Legos and big ones, right? And they have, different size, ages, 3 and up or whatever. Well, I bought this Mando helmet because it was pretty cool. And it's ages 18 and up. Well, when I was coming back from my trip, Haley surprised me and she built it in a couple hours for me.
Oh, that's cool.
My 13-year-old, so
Yeah.
I'm like, Haley, so you want me to get the other ones? And she's like, no.
No, it's so tedious.
Shit, no. She was, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I can't do it. I can't do it. I remember when Scott and his wife, when they got those like
the paper, like the
paper like Star Destroyer and the I bought them. I got them for Christmas, but
you're like
in the box, never opened.
Yeah, we were at Disney this weekend with some family, and my little one ended up getting a little Lego set, and it was like the Haunted Mansion Lego set, and I was like, whatever. It's like, how hard can it really be? Because I saw the model, and then, like it was a small thing. Oh my god, that was the most tedious thing. Like, you had to like put these like 3 little parts together to build these little walls, but I had to do like 100 of those. And of course, like, my kids weren't going to do it. So I was sitting there just doing it. That was the most tedious thing I've ever done. Now I remember why I don't like Legos, but I respect the people that do. And that's the thing.
I would really, really enjoy, even if it's a segment of one of our live shows.
Yeah.
Get Steven and his son on.
Absolutely.
And no pressure, because I know he's not really, he gets, I think, a little shy in the camera, but what he does in these Legos is it's should be seen. So
we definitely need to have a Lego show, because there's a huge fan base for collectors that collect Legos.
That's right. And there's some really, really cool. The gentleman Fram Dam, I forget his first name, that does all the masks and stuff. I talked to him about being on the show, and he's on board. So
good.
It'd be really cool to show all the different things that he's done. It's crazy, actually.
Yeah. So Benjamin's and Robin have some news that they'll tell us pretty soon. Cool. Can't wait to hear that. Armando, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And Kelvin.
Yeah, build them for you.
Yeah, no problem. You want to come get them or what? You let me know. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, like he's super camera shy.
Yeah,
but I mean, even if we we
can have you on it and then show them. Yeah, because even Steven was telling me the other day, he goes, man, my own kid, my show, and he hasn't even been on my own show. So that's okay though.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe what we can do is we can get a couple of like Lego collectors, right, and a couple of Lego builds where we could show that, and then if he's comfortable, we could just show maybe pictures of his collection
for sure.
Talk about that as opposed to him jumping on camera.
Yeah.
But
his own dad's like, good luck.
I know, right?
So he's like, that shit ain't happening.
That's how I feel like sometimes my oldest daughter, who just turned 20 years old, which is crazy to me. She asked me if she can get a tattoo for her birthday. And I was like, sure, like go get a tattoo, whatever. Because I own a tattoo shop, right? So
I put it on my face all right down.
Yeah, that's the thing I told her, because I was like, just don't get it on your face. Obviously, don't get it like past your wrist. And then she comes home and she's like, she got a little heart. It's kind of like the Janis Joplin, how she had like a little tiny little heart. You got a little heart here and a couple little stars and stuff. So I was like, all right, that's fine.
That's funny.
I mean, I can't really say much. I can't really be like, no, tattoos are for hooligans.
But what's really cool though, because I've seen some of my kids,
that have them.
And I'm like, shit, I didn't even know they have those, So
Mhm.
My older son, he's tatted from everywhere, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think every one of my kids, my older kids,
Yeah.
actually have tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a common thing.
Hey guys, don't start with me in tattoos. This is to the group chat. Do not even start with the.
You already know. You already know what they're gonna start talking about.
Here we go.
Yeah. No tattoos.
Oh, here we go, Armando. I knew it was going to be your ass. Thanks a lot.
Tattoos are super common. I remember in law school, and obviously now this is, I don't know, close to now almost 10 years ago when I wrote this paper. I wrote a paper about tattoos in the workplace, about like discrimination in the workplace. And there was some study done that it was something crazy, like 60 something percent of adult people in the workplace ages 18 to like 40 something have at least one visible tattoo. But that's a huge number, right?
Yeah.
It's that common now that. And when I opened up my tattoo shop 10 years ago, and even then there was still this stigma where like nobody wanted to rent, a place to me because of the tattoo business. They're like, no, we don't want that kind of business here. So it took me a little while to actually find a location, but now it's like everywhere.
Yeah. I think, that's another discussion, but, tattoos are like normal now,
Yeah.
Before it was kind of like, oh, okay.
I like the tag team here by the Bowmans.
Hey, Kelvin, where do you live? Kelvin, where do you live at? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Benjamin. You know what's funny? I have a buddy who like he's all into Legos and all that stuff, and he goes and he buys Legos by the pound, which is crazy to me. Like he's like, oh, I just like scored this like a 25-pound bin of Legos, and I'm like, what? Like, is that how like people sell Legos these days? Like, you don't sell it by the kit, you sell it by the pound.
Yeah, so I guess they just create their own stuff like an artist.
Yeah, a lot of times they find like really rare, like the little guys, or like,
I like seeing the little Star Wars dudes,
Yeah,
I've seen people have them all lined up and shit. That's really cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, it was fun. We got to definitely not wait until each week to chat, huh?
I know, Gabe. It's just, you're busy. I'm busy. There's a lot going on. And our friends, Ryan and Julie, they're putting together the little, Julie knows the name of it, but the generizer from Found Parts, the
the one from Dagobah,
the what do you call it? The
generator or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a golly, if they were on, they tell me, but they know the name for it, but it's really cool. It's like a charging lamp.
Yeah.
It helps charge R2 and plus gives light. There's like they talk about it. They're like very familiar, but they're really almost done finding all the found parts for it, and that's exciting. So.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna bring up the beads again, and I was like,
oh
no.
God dang, no, we're not gonna do that. But I'm still getting people that listen to the show during the week, and this friend of mine that built my Dagobah R2, Eric, he was like, hey dude, I was sitting there, because a lot of our viewers, as you know, Gabe, they work in the shops when they're working and stuff, and they listen to the show in the background, which is really cool. And he says, man, he was working on his R2, and he started hearing about the beads and me laughing, and he says I had to stop. It was just hilarious, This is funny. Those are the best times,
those
right?
are the classic ones, man. That's what we gotta figure out how to like bookmark some of those to like.
I know, right?
At the end of the year, like you want it, like at the end of the year, do like a reel of like all the funny moments.
Oh, no kidding.
It's just hard. Like it's hard to like we got to figure out a way to like somehow mark them, you know?
I loved how you started out my laugh, the Falcon thing. Yeah. Who was it that brought that up? That was what?
I think Armando. Armando was the one
I
that,
think
I
somebody.
think
And,
it was Armando that said, yeah, he sounds like
yeah, but how you did that classic Ben Burt thing, and it went on for like 3-4 minutes, and we're watching this, and you're all serious about it, and then that popped out. It was just hilarious. It's
yeah, man.
good times on collection.
Scott, we got Scott to thank for the edits too. Yeah,
Yes,
he was helping me with
and
that.
I need to be in touch with Scott. Man, Scott, you've been a stranger. I haven't talked to you in a while, actually, but yeah. So, but yeah, man, you take care of those little kiddos of yours, and everybody. It's always a blast. I was really looking forward to hanging out tonight.
Yeah.
You know,
Always, man.
so
All right, my brother.
so
You
yeah,
have a-
everybody, you guys enjoy your Sunday,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next weekend.
Yeah. We'll
Right.
see you guys. And yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Next week we might have a guest. So stay tuned.
Yes.
All right, later, guys.
Good night, everybody.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow it.